Princeton first varsity open weight women. The first varsity open weight women's eights. Princeton versus Michigan. Michigan in lane 1. White Hudson. Princeton in lane 2 with the yellow Empire. Very competitive crews here, Michigan and Princeton. Very close on the Row 2K C-Max rankings. Only about 4 or 5 seconds between them, I believe. So, should be a good race. Crews getting aligned here. Princeton with a hand up. Very important when there's a headwind coming down the course to be pointed straight down it, or else, any leaning to one or the other side is going to send you off. We have alignment. We have a clean start. Both crews. Looks like Princeton maybe a seat lead after their high five. Princeton high strokes 45-47. Michigan matching them maybe a little bit lower at a 43. Princeton now 2-3 seats up after the first 10 of the high strokes. Princeton continuing to push on these high strokes. About a 42 now on the rate as they've kind of settling out. Princeton 3 seats up as they come through the 250 with a time of 48 seconds. Both crews now settling out. Princeton striking a 36 above the Michigan crew. Michigan striking also about a 36. Princeton about 4-5 seats up now. Princeton Coxon sitting on the Michigan 2 seat. Still pretty heavy headwind as we continue down the course. Coming into that first 500. Princeton will cross the first 500 line first with the time of 1:36.6. Michigan right behind them with the time of 1:39.22. Princeton almost. Coxon calling. She has the bow ball of the Michigan crew now. Just coming off a high 10 here. Princeton a complete length up on the Michigan crew. Michigan now responding with a press of their own, but Princeton continues to press. Got about a seat now of open water over the Michigan crew. We're coming into a lull in the wind here. Coming into that 750 meter mark. Princeton will lead to the 750 meter mark with a time of 2:25.16. Michigan with a time of 2:29.71. About 3-4 seats now that the Princeton crew has over this Michigan crew in the first varsity open weight women's race. Princeton looking very clean, getting those blades in together. Very strong. You can hear the click of the oarlocks at the same time. It's very important to have those catches and finishes perfectly aligned. Very strong base pace. Still rowing pretty high here, the Princeton crew. 33-34. They're taking a move through the 1,000 now. They'll cross the 1,000 at 3:12.76. Very competitive time. The women's crew, the Michigan women's crew, 3:19.51. So both of these crews sub 140 splits in that first 1,000. Princeton now almost a full length over Michigan. The Princeton base pace proving to be devastating on all levels. All the Princeton boats today having extraordinary stamina through the middle 1,000, really getting them their leads. It hasn't really been any of the moves from either crew that has given them this race. It is the Princeton base rhythm, just very strong, sitting up well together. All the girls sitting up well, and they'll cross the 7:50 to go with a time of 4:02.73. The Michigan crew about a length and a half with a time of 4:10.86. Princeton taking another move here. About 600 meters to go. Coming up on that last 500. Princeton still strong. Almost 2 lengths now of open water over the Michigan crew. The Princeton coxswain talking to her crew. The stroke seat responding with a nod. She knows that it's time to go. They are not going to relent here. They are going to go for broke in this last 500 meters. They are not backing off the pressure. Princeton coming through that last 500 meter mark with the time of 4:52.05. Michigan still trailing about 2 lengths of open water back. They'll come through the 500 with a 5:01.51. Headwind again picking up today as the day goes on, but both crews battling it well. Princeton now still sitting up, still maintaining a 2-length open lead over the Michigan crew in lane 1. Yep, Princeton calling, the coxswain calling in this last 300. She's calling for more speed, higher rate. Yep, you can hear very big pressure change. Princeton still striking about 34 on the rate. Michigan crew about the same margin back here. And Princeton in the last 250 now. Michigan just coming through that 250 meter mark. Princeton with a commanding lead, almost 3 lengths open. Still looking very strong as they continue to press. They've bumped it up now. They're sitting at a 38. Michigan crew is also taking the rate up, about a 35, 36. And Princeton, a commanding lead as they come through the last final meters of this first varsity race. They will take the gold. With a time of 6:32.05, an unofficial time of 6:32.05. Michigan finishing strong here as they come through the line with a time of 6:44.47, unofficial time of 6:44.47.